So, um, I have your solution for you with your loadout. I don't have your solution, but I can tell you how to get to your solution. Okay? And this is something that I learned from Crazy. You so what you want to do is you want to go to the target dummies wherever they are, and you need to create a a new tab. And here's how this works. Okay.
Oh, you mean parse them? Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
What?
Yeah, I'm parsing them right now. I have a sparring target in my house, and I have the combat tab.
Yeah, the combat tab, but there's a lot of information to go through in that combat tab. So if you make a custom tab, it'll give you summaries where you don't have to like a lot of that time that information in the regular combat tab it just goes too quickly and there's um it's just tough to go through. So what I would do is you create a custom tab and you can select the information and how it displays on that tab, right? So you go to your settings and you go to your chat options. It shows all the tabs right there, right? So so I want to edit this one because all right. So you have all your stuff that displays on there, right? But you have damage in, damage out, league, trade versus. Da, 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 da. Here's where it gets good. Combat in, combat out, healing in, healing out, power in, power out. See, power in and power out does not display on the regular combat tab. So you never know how much healing you're doing.
Yeah.
So as a healer, like I need that. But this is the interesting one. Healing summary, damage summary, power summary. So before you throw in any pets or anything like that, okay, you have like a rotation, right?
Yeah.
Like you go through your bar once, one rotation. So that'll account for all the because you have to if you do the regular combat tab, you have to add up all the different POT ticks or dot ticks.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this on the damage summary, right? You go through one rotation and it'll add up all the stuff for you and you just have like you go through one rotation and you did however many 100,000 in 3.5 seconds and that's your summary, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. You can make whatever changes you want to your rotation and then or to your loadout, right? You just go through one rotation and you see how it works. Because you can use the regular combat tab. What I do is I use the regular combat tab to see just like on average how hard a power hits when you got power interactions or different tactical mods and such, right? But for a good no bullshit like hey this is what I'm doing, you get that summary. And the
Yeah.
summary really works great. I dig it. But I do find that when you have like a pet or something and you're messing around with the targets or whatever. Like the pet won't stop. He'll just like keep, so you'll never get your summary. So you should do it without the pet or without the grimoire if you have that. It just won't go away.
I know. I tried to teleport because I had my sparring target near my teleporter. It wouldn't even let me teleport. Fucking grims.
Leading black belt faggoty for right class. I'll put to the fire.
Alright, so I'm getting this rotation, 27 seconds on 3 rotation, 559,870 damage with a 29,000 max damage.
So you got the summary? See, that's excellent. That's without what?
That's without hitting my super.
Yeah. So you did the summary thing?
Yeah.
That works nice, doesn't it?
One rotation. One rotation, 6 seconds, 150,530 damage, 15 hits. Yeah, right around 30,000 for my max hits. And 40% crits. That is running the strategist and the transformation card.
Yep.
Yes. Just like it was. Alright, what is it? What? You're hiding something. I'm not hiding. Pocahontas, you. I promise I won't tell anyone. Look. It's one of them. I'm looking. What are you telling you? I had to see you again. Pocahontas. Pocahontas? Please don't say anything. Quick, sway. Where is Pocahontas? I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I know you do, crazy. Fucking OP bastard.
So I have my loadout right here, but let's see. That's without a pet.
Something like that.
So you said 3 rotations? You did 500,000?
Yeah. Where crazy does one. He's fucking OP as shit, that fucking quantum.
And also it'll show you, like, for instance, I just did one rotation, go straight through the power bar. Right, and I get
I think he beat Dom with that quantum, man.
I get 144,000, 24 hits, 41% crits. But that's when I hit them in a certain order, and I don't get the power interaction. So if I do this, and I get both my power interactions.
Nah, man. I guarantee you, we run something, he's changing his fucking powers. You're gonna beat him with that quantum. Especially that fucking supercharge.
Alright, look at that. That's 40,000 more damage if I put it in the correct order. And that's one rotation.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let me go save. Let me go imprint and then shoot me an invite, bro.
Wait. Can I come too? I don't see crazy stupid chat on there. Hang on. I gotta switch my thing. Yeah, VMF. Oh man, Rochi could have come too. Rochi trips me out, man. He quits
Like
when
I don't
people
think
are giving.
I don't think I don't think I'll ever do. I don't think I'll ever do the damage with this water character that I do with my fire DPS. But fuck, I'm gonna try.
$22 seconds. 42 hits. 391,000 total damage. 61% crits, 2 targets. Bruh.
Yeah, you know that sounds pretty close.
Yeah. Come on, man. Are y'all doing a group or what? Or are you and Crazy trying to start without me? 10 seconds. You know what, dude? I bet we don't even need whoever the fourth person is.
Nah, wait. Jen got locked out last night. I did it with fucking just Danny and Crazy.
Yeah, well, we did it with...
Oh, and I hope that fourth person realizes they're on thin ice.
Yeah, especially when we really enjoy kicking people so much. It's like a game now. And you're welcome. Oh, yay, a tank. Okay, Jimmy. You
can't believe Luther has an actual
Actual, factual.
Just glad Superman showed up to inhale them. Looks like Luther's security kind of said anyone without proper codes choke on poisonous gas.
That should clear the air for a while. Let's get moving.
Hello, intruders. Quite rude of you to enter our home uninvited. Look, Gypsy, Mr. Tinker to you, and he created me to manage his systems. I am Autobites.
Huh. My guess was going to be a malicious, evil robot calling you.
A malicious, evil robot.
Lois Lane. We're gonna have our hands full with this one.
So I was jacking around with other stuff and I forgot that y'all were getting started.
Let's activate some worker robots. I'll just reconfigure their subroutines.
The worker robots. Does that mean communist robots now?
I do find it ironic that the Brainiac Brainiac has a union.
Huh, yeah.
Did you see that shit on Twitter where people are arguing that bad teachers are worse than bad cops?
I think that's a silly game to play.
I agree.
But it won't take me long.
It's apples and oranges. The important thing is that it's not about which one is worse, but it's about bad teachers and bad police are both protected by the same structure for the same reason. Bad teachers and bad police are both protected by public sector unions, which is the best argument for getting rid of public sector unions.
That's a slippery slope, though, man. That's like saying voting blocks are going to be illegal, though.
No. Public sector unions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Public sector unions.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I agree.
Because, if you have like a private union, for a private company, those employees, their money's not coming from the same people who. I mean,
I agree. Bad teachers are definitely a problem. But, when the state comes for your rights, they ain't sending Mrs. McCready's third grade, bro.
No, but here's the overreaching problem. And Jen's a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she'll probably, once I put it out this way, it'll make more sense. So, yeah, the bad teachers have an effect on the way the school system is organized and run. Right? Because you have bad teachers, and because you have teachers' unions who protect those bad teachers, like you had teachers in New York that were, like, accused of inappropriate relationships with students and couldn't be fired. So they sat them in a room, like they had a classroom with no students in it, and they just sat there getting paid. So when there are complaints about the school system and how it doesn't work, what happens?
Yeah.
Well, they pass all these different laws about, hey, we'll do this for accountability. We'll add this form and this paperwork and this here, and you'll have to go through this process, and you'll have to get this number of lesson plans done ahead of time so they can be reviewed, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And all that takes away from classroom time and doesn't improve scores at all, because the biggest problem is parental involvement or lack of, right? And there's no legislation you can do to fix that. But the legislation they do come up with to provide more quote-unquote accountability
Who the hell is that?
continues to make teachers' jobs harder. So the bad ones get protected. The good ones say, screw this, I'm out.
This unit is now designated.
Okay? And then the educational system becomes exponentially worse the more they do this. And then all those issues you have with kids who are like slip through the cracks or whatever, there's even more kids slip through the cracks. So the long-term effect is
I don't suppose.
there's a hell of a lot of kids that are screwed for life.
Yeah.
Because not only do they not have parents involved, but now the only thing they had, you know, that was helping them out, the schools, those are screwed too. Because rather than punish the bad teachers and get them out, they just made the job tougher for all teachers. And then bottom line is, you have fewer good teachers in there and more bad teachers. And you can't find them. As long as they're willing to jump through hoops, they don't really have to be good at their jobs.
See, and that was my argument. My argument was, at the end of the day, it's government that is the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Okay? And I agree, dude, that bad teachers are a fucking problem that we can rectify. But a bad cop, dude, that's... You know what I mean? One fucking bad cop in someone's life. You know, and that's something you not ever get back.
Yeah, but one bad cop, he has the potential to end a life. Maybe a few lives.
Yeah.
Okay? But if you get a bad teacher and you protect them and keep them in the system for 30 years, how many lives do they affect? How many kids do they screw up? And the collectively, I think bad teachers are worse. Because nobody looks at bad teachers the way they look at bad cops. You can put a bad cop in jail. Bad teachers, because they're not killing anybody right now, they stay in the system. Right? And they create a whole segment, a whole generation of society that is badly educated and poor and turns to crime. Or, you know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we've had bad teachers. Our kids have had horrible fucking teachers.
Yeah.
But as parents, you know what I mean? We are involved with the fucking kids, and we knew they were bad people. And we rectified this.
Yeah.
That's, you know, bad teachers is something that can absolutely be dealt with fairly quickly.
If you have parents that care.
Exactly.
But see, that's the problem. That's because there aren't enough parents who care. The only thing they have is the school system. Right?
Yes.
Which is, they're putting more pressure on the teachers to take the place of the parents, which isn't fair.
No, not at all.
But the way they're doing it screws it up more for everybody. Right? So if they would just recognize that there are some problems you can't fix, but allow the teachers and the local, you know, local school systems and school boards to do it the way they want without insisting on this like federal compliance and all this stuff.
Yeah.
then you would actually be able to reach more of these kids that were previously deemed unreachable. And I believe you could do it in a way that doesn't enable, like the current system does, more parents to bail on their kids.
I try not to get involved in that conversation because I got a huge bias. Okay, my uncle was killed by cops in El Paso. When he called them, and
Yeah.
he ended up dying because there were guys at the hotel that were drinking, and they started a fight with him. There's 3 of them, and he called the cops, and they caught up to him. He called them from a payphone. This was in the 90s. He calls the cops. He heads back to his hotel. They're waiting for him. He starts fighting with all 3 of them. He pulls a knife, and when the cops get there, he's standing there with a knife, and one of the guys is stabbed, and they shot him.
I'll cover them while I shake off that red sun energy. I'll catch up soon.
While you were fighting a
Wow.
I found a way upstairs.
Yeah.
Time to find out
So
what
I have a fucking bias with that, but
I mean, I
I
get
get
it.
the argument.
You know?
I get the argument. I just know that, like his kids grew up without a dad. He never got to meet his grandpa.
Yeah, I mean that's not okay. No one's, there's a lot of what we do these days in political, socioeconomic debates and stuff like this. And I get it, and that's what I'm saying. Like we get, everybody tends to get in their feelings or in their particular situation. Like, no, but this happened to me, and you guys don't get it. And I think people do it, but it's and look, it is for better or worse, it's much harder to look at things objectively. It just is, right? So if you had a bad experience with a teacher or a bad experience with a police officer, and look, that's what's happening all around the country right now, is you see 9 bad experiences with police officers for like a year, and not even necessarily 9. They're just the stats, the way they break down when all these protests are over. Citizens have millions of interactions with police officers every year, right? And from those millions of interactions, 9 unarmed black men were killed in 2018 or 2019. It's the last year you have data. How do you now see? That's you're kind of making my point for me. You don't know that, but people say it anyway. Okay, 9 times in 2018, unarmed black men were killed by police officers. Now that's all you know from the data, right? Not necessarily all 9 of those were bad shootings or bad killings. Some were, right? But 9 times it happened out of millions of interactions, right? But as a result of that, you have people saying, well, police are all bad, get rid of all of them, and they're all right. First of all, there's absolutely even the one case where the guy Floyd, where he stood on his neck, you can say it's wrong, you can say it's bad police work, you can even say it's murder, but to say it's racism, how do you know? How do you know? No, not you, not you. But Rochi just said racist cops or whatever. Like, if we were to know that someone was racist and they did horrible stuff, like down here in Louisiana, they got people being fired because they said racist stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool, get rid of them. No problem. When you show me someone is doing racist stuff, But here's your problem. Here's your problem. When you just yell racism every time something bad happens, without actually being able to show that that's what the problem is, then what you do is you create, it's like a Chicken Little thing. Keep saying the sky's falling, and then eventually nobody believes you.
Yeah.
So I think it's really dangerous to yell racism unless you know it's racism. And really, 9 times out of 10, when these cases go public, even for the bad ones where the police officer's absolutely wrong, and in worst case you can even call it murder, and I wouldn't argue with you, you still, the temptation to insert, well, it's racism, like, dude, you don't know that. And to say that without knowing it, you're really making it tougher, not only tougher to spot real racism, but you have a lot of people that are like, dude, that's dumb. That's not correct. None of that's true. So then you have real problems that people are saying, nah, screw you. I don't even want to look at this, because people are attaching a specific motive to it for expressly political reasons.
Well, my personal feelings on that are just like with teachers, actually. They don't fucking go. They don't do enough of a you know, what do you want to call that? A fucking profile on
vetting. They need to vet them better.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
You know, and the training is for
background checks, longer training periods,
psychological.
Yeah, psychological profiles. Yes, absolutely. Here's the thing with this. And I absolutely agree. There are two sides in this. One that says, well, you know, police officers and teachers, they get the shaft. And I think that's true. And then there are bad police officers and bad teachers, and that's true also. Right? Here's how you do it. You get rid of the teachers and police unions. You raise the pay.
Privatize
you raise
both of them.
Well, look, you don't have to privatize them. You can, but you don't have to. But honestly, I think for police and teachers, for police specifically, you can't privatize that. Like I don't think there's a way that works. I would like to think there is, but there's not. But here's what you do: you get rid of the teachers
I would
union.
put in the insurance company. Force them to have insurance.
Better idea. Okay. And this way, look, it's all still regulated by the government. It's all still legal. Everything is like how it should be. You get rid of the police unions. Okay. You raise the pay substantially, but you also, with the pay raise, you make it harder to become a police officer.
Yeah.
See, the problem is that you have really crappy people being police officer because the standards are low. But also, you don't have enough good people, good qualified people being police officers because the pay is too low. The pay and the standards are low. And the pay and the standards are low because it's a thankless job. Right? So you make the pay way higher, but then you make the standards way higher. And you get rid of the unions that protect bad police.
Yep.
Period. And from that point, you see people who care about the job, want to do it better, and are rewarded for doing so.
More passion too. Just saying.
And all those ideas about community policing, sure, I like that too. You know, if you want to set some kind of prerequisite that you know, police should come from, you know, if you work in a certain area, you should live in that area. I have no problem with that. Right? You want to hire from your hometown first. I think that's a fantastic idea. The people care about the community they're policing. But, hey, if you can't do that, then at least provide a larger monetary motive for doing a good job.
Yes.
if I'm getting paid a lot of money, I don't want to lose my job, and I want to do it properly.
Me too.
So
No, and I'm 100% for paying them more. Absolutely.
Yeah,
If
but
you make it harder to become a teacher or a cop, I'm absolutely on board for paying them what they're worth.
Hello.
If you get the right people on the job.
Hello, Danny.
absolutely.
Hey, Richie.
But that's the only way you guarantee you get the right people on the job is you make it really harder to be a teacher.
That's the problem. That's government all getting in the way of that shit.
So you take these. Yeah. Ooh, you're the best.
Shit.
You take you
Dude,
make.
how the fuck crazy? Dude,
Yeah, I don't like him.
Were you in
All right, look, I got to get ready for church, y'all. But I'm gonna come back
All right,
later.
man.
All right, y'all be
All
good.
right. Later.
Later, Danny.
Later.
Me? Oh. Oh, he's trolling.